Welcome back again, guys. This is the Diski Chats podcast. Welcome back to a new video. This is the very first video of 2025. So, since we're in the international break, what we're going to be covering is Bafana Bafana versus Lesotho. Very, very exciting game. Very cagey from Lesotho, though, I must say. Look, this was a must-win for us going into the World Cup qualifiers. Remember, we've already qualified for AFCON 2025 that's going to be played in Morocco. So these international games are actually for the 2026 World Cup. So our campaign looks good. We are actually at the top of Group C at the moment. So I just want to be able to just dive in a bit deeper, look at the game itself. What are the positives? How is our campaign going? What's Nigeria doing on the other side? And see where we get from there. But before we get to that, just want to say to you guys, thank you so much for the support. Those who have been coming to the channel looking for videos, asking me where I am, it's very encouraging. Before we go into it, please don't forget the three things: like, subscribe, and comment. Give me your opinions. Tell me what you think, and let us have the conversation. All right, let's get into it. So, for me, look, coming into this game, I think on paper, SA are the bigger team. On paper, SA are the bigger team. As far as domestic, the players who come from domestic, the league itself, how small of a football nation Lesotho would be in the SADC region, because we are the biggest in terms of leagues and even the players who are playing abroad. But in the greater scheme of things as well, if we're looking at four back to back, we also carry a big advantage, or we are carrying a bigger advantage, or a better advantage. Let me say, we still came out number 3 in the AFCON, very high in confidence. The bulk of the team is still the same. The spine of the team is still more or less the same that played in AFCON. And more or less in regards to having to have not lost any games in the last 13, I think we are 13 games unbeaten, as opposed to Lesotho. So there was a lot of ingredients that gave us the confidence to say that, look, Bafana should be able to win this game. But the downside is, this team, Lesotho, whether it's Eswatini, Lesotho, Botswana, Namibia, Zimbabwe, we know each other very well. Some of the players play in our local league. They know our style of play. They are familiar with our teams. The players who play in the local league, so they have a lot of insight as opposed to what we would know about their key players and how the team has played and what to look out for, how the team is going to approach the game. And they haven't really had a bad start in terms of the World Cup qualifiers, because they actually got a couple of draws against your big teams like Nigeria. So the Group C is very, very, it's a stop and go kind of thing, because that group alone, it's very difficult to know who's actually going to take it. Yes, we have your favorites, which is us in this instance in Nigeria. But Rwanda and Benin, there's like 2 or 1 point difference, which I'm going to put on the screen. You'll see for yourself, where there's not much. Rwanda has also won against Nigeria. Nigeria hasn't really gotten the best of stats. So this game, we needed a win. Basically, I can add a lot of things and give you a whole scope and a web and, and everything that you would understand, or you'd need to understand how important this game was. And at the very same time, Nigeria was playing against Rwanda. So Rwanda also could have won that game, or even drew, which they also would put on pressure on us, and any other team would like to come number 2 or 1. Because remember, only number 1 qualifies automatically for the World Cup. Number 2 has to go to a qualifying round, and 1 team has to win. So far, we have the advantage, because we're going to play away on Tuesday this coming week against Benin, which in the first leg we won comfortably. But as we know, look, playing away in Africa is not the best. But coming to the game itself then, I love the starting lineup. Although I might say I was expecting maybe Apollos to come ahead of Mofokeng, and it worked wonders. But against Lesotho, I understand why Bruce would actually choose Mofokeng, who's actually red hot at the moment. Credit to the technical team, to be fair on them, and how they're able to analyze and keep in touch with the players' form as well. Because as much as you would think he would use a tried and trusted setup, but he got it right, I feel, in terms of the starting lineup because Mfukeng has been hot. And even if he were to come as a sub, I would still tip him to come up with an assist. He's part of our gameplay and he always gives us a bit of energy in terms of attack and a lot of options as well when he plays either on the left or as a number 10. So as much as we're missing Uzwane or Patrick Maswanganye from Pirates, so there's a lot of things that Bruce was able to read, and with this lineup, we're able to get something out of it. But a key factor that I must mention is not a critique, but it's a concern rather because it's the inconsistency from Percy Tau that you might see now and again that doesn't make sense to me, and we need him to be on song when it comes to these games because these 6 points are important because they may give us a breather for all these other teams to cancel each other out. So him in that game, I was expecting a bit more, but you can see he's trying. I think the one thing that a lot of fans don't understand that I don't think he'll give us a bad game on purpose. It's just that maybe his confidence is a bit lost, or maybe because he has not been in the setup for a long time and he's actually joined a new team. Coming in here, maybe there's a lot of things in his mind in terms of joining gameplay, understanding the system, and how he can build his confidence or fit himself in. Because most of the time, even in AFCON, he was a bit lost. He was isolated. Sometimes he plays alone. He doesn't join the team in a sense where you could feel the synergy, where if he has to take on players, you'd see what he's trying to do and all the other guys will join in. So we can see from defense, mid, and the attack, we can see what the guys are trying to do. But as far as him, an important position that we have actually lost a couple of players from through injury. He hasn't really given us much, but I'm hoping he will gain his confidence because, international, you don't have much time when it comes to international football. So I'm just expecting him to pick up his pace and his form a bit, and maybe in Benin, he'll come out a different player. I don't know, but we're expecting a bit more. If not, I like that we still have a couple of options on the bench. So there's a lot of things that we can look out for, but from the game itself, you kind of saw that we wanted it a bit more than Lesotho. Lesotho just came for a draw. To be honest, they came here, they sat at the back a bit too long for me, and there was not much of an impetus, like something from attack. Yes, they would, have short passes, trying to combine from the middle, from the back. They'll show confidence, but they're a bit shaky. We could have gotten 3 or 4 goals in the first half. So for them, I think their quality kind of showed in the second half. I don't know what Bruce told the guys, but I think caution to the wind, they're a bit more calm and clinical, and which actually caused the 2 goals. So it was a good game. It was a good game. What I loved also is that we haven't changed in terms of the system that we've been playing. We play to our strength a lot. Don't play with a lot of wing play and try to bring in crosses because Foster is not that kind of striker. He's very mobile and he's good technically if you give him space, space to turn and everything like that. We haven't seen the best from our attack, in my opinion. Mukwana was a bit silent at times, or even himself, he trips wide. He doesn't even know how to bring the ball inside so we can join into the attack. So because of maybe him playing for Esperance. So he's not necessarily all bad because the first goal came from his side when he gained a bit of confidence or he tried something different. So that game gave us a lot to watch, and it's exciting to see. So this is the kind of things that we want to be able to see, especially against tough opposition. Why I'm saying all of this, because when you go to Benin, it gives us more to risk a bit more, because as you saw, we played with one pivot, which was Tebogo Mokoena, I'm expecting, but he was also pushing forward. Then now Adams was inside. So we didn't really play with a lot of defensive midfielders. So it shows that Bruce was expecting Lesotho not to be much of a threat going forward. So we wanted a lot of creative players going forward. I'm expecting him to be a bit defensive going to Benin because it's an away game. So if things don't go according to plan, I'm guessing, which is the 3 points, maybe we'll go for a point where now he'll maybe drop in and put in an Obas and have that double pivot from Obas and Tebogo Mokoena. So those are one of my predictions and expectation. But as far as this game, in terms of what it's given us a foundation to see where we can tweak. I don't think he'll change much from the back. I loved what Spacey did. And maybe if you bring in a young Grant Kekana there, not much, because we are really not tested, to be honest. Umda no Pasadin, they were actually on holiday. Great performance from Ungezana. So there's a lot of things to look at for our campaign. Looks very good. We are threatening, and I think it's a concern from all the other teams. When they play against us, they really need to be concerned about the kind of threat that we pose, because we've already played Nigeria twice and we've drawn against them. So they won't be a problem for us as such, but we can't just, for me, relax and expect them not to really give us problems. So Tuesday game, again, it's an important one because Nigeria is playing against Zimbabwe. As a parting shot, just to leave the video there. Also, we're going to look at both screens because if Nigeria should win against Zimbabwe, they'll be on 9. Should we win, we'll be on 13. And Rwanda is going to be playing against Lesotho, which they are on 8 points at the moment. So far, so good for us. However, these other games go as long as we win our games. Therefore, when we play Nigeria in September, that's already given us a bit of a breather where Nigeria would need to want it more than we do, because we've already put ourselves in a very, very comfortable position. So heads off to Hugo, Hugo once again. He's doing wonders for us. There's a lot of good things that I'm seeing in the national setups. I mean, the players, they look different when they go to the national team. They understand their assignment. The football is very beautiful to watch. Good on the eye. And we still are maintaining the same momentum that we were carrying in the AFCON. So it's a good campaign for us for December. So guys, thank you so much. That's all I have for this week. We'll drop another video just before, or maybe a reaction video after the Benin game, and just to see how we played. I'm hoping we'll get all the 6 points if we add that one for Benin, and just to go on holiday knowing that very well that when we're playing against Nigeria, it's going to be a good game. Thank you so much. That's all I have. And again, please don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel. We'll be dropping more videos. But remember, most of the time, we drop local content. And moving forward, so we'll be able to drop new videos in the future. Thank you. Sharp. This is Walter again, signing out.